In the complex world of modern dating, the old adage actions speak louder than words serves as a fundamental truth, especially when it comes to understanding a man's heart. Men are often socialized to be the architects of their own emotional fortresses, keeping their deepest feelings under lock and key until they are absolutely certain of the outcome. However, psychology tells us that when a man is truly falling hard, his subconscious begins to betray his silence. Long before he ever gathers the courage to utter those three big words, his behavior, his body language, and his shifting priorities begin to broadcast a very different story. He might be silent with his tongue, but his soul is shouting through a series of subtle, unmistakable hints. In this deep dive, we are uncovering the 15 silent hints a man drops when he is deeply captivated by you but hasn't said a word. For many women, these signs go unnoticed or are dismissed as mere friendliness, but when viewed through a psychological lens, they reveal a man who is emotionally invested and potentially terrified of the depth of his own attraction. We aren't talking about the superficial charms of a first date. We are talking about the falling phase, that transformative period where a man moves from casual interest to a profound emotional lock-on. Have you ever caught him staring at you with an expression of pure wonder when he thought you weren't looking? Or noticed how he suddenly remembers the most trivial details about your childhood or your favorite coffee order? These aren't coincidences. They are the markers of a brain that has become hyper-focused on you. We will explore the activation of the hero instinct, the physiological shifts in his vocal tone, and the way he begins to weave you into the fabric of his long-term life decisions. This video is designed to give you the psychological blueprint to decode his silence and understand the truth of his intentions without ever having to ask a single awkward question. If you've been feeling a magnetic pull but find yourself confused by his lack of verbal confirmation, these 15 points will provide the clarity you've been searching for. Whether he is scared of his feelings or simply waiting for the perfect moment, his silent language is the key to his heart. So, let's peel back the layers of the male psyche and discover the 15 ways a man shows he is falling hard without saying a single word. 1. The intense, unbroken eye contact. Eye contact is often described as the window to the soul, and in the context of a man falling hard, it becomes a powerful, non-verbal communicator of his deepest intentions. When a man is genuinely captivated, his gaze lingers significantly longer than it would in a casual or platonic interaction. This isn't just about looking at you. It's about a specific type of heavy eye contact that feels both intimate and intentional. Scientists often point to the release of oxytocin, the love hormone, which occurs when two people share prolonged eye contact, creating a biological bridge of trust and attraction. You might notice that even in a crowded room, his eyes consistently find yours. He isn't just scanning the room. He is anchoring himself to your presence. This unbroken gaze suggests that he is trying to read your emotions and connect with you on a level that words cannot reach. Furthermore, observe his pupils. Physiological arousal often causes pupils to dilate when looking at someone we are deeply attracted to. This is an involuntary response he cannot fake. Moreover, this eye contact often persists when you are speaking. He isn't looking at his phone or distracting himself with his surroundings. He is visually devouring your expressions. It's a sign of total presence. Even when he feels vulnerable or shy, he might look away momentarily only to be drawn back to your eyes almost instantly. This magnetic pull is a classic sign that his feelings are moving past the crush phase and into something much more substantial. He is silently telling you that you are the most interesting thing in his world at that moment. 2. Subtle physical mirroring of your actions. Mirroring is a subconscious psychological phenomenon where one person begins to mimic the gestures, posture, or speech patterns of another. When a man is falling hard, his brain starts to synchronize with yours as a way to build rapport and demonstrate empathy. This is rarely a conscious choice. Rather, it is his body's way of saying, "I am in sync with you." If you lean in, he leans in. If you take a sip of your drink, he follows suit a few seconds later. If you cross your legs or use specific hand gestures while talking, you will likely see him adopting similar movements. This behavior is rooted in our evolutionary history as social creatures. mirroring signals that there is no threat and that two individuals are on the same team. In a romantic context, it shows a deep level of attunement. He is so focused on your energy and your rhythm that his own body begins to reflect it. This creates a comfortable bubble around the two of you, making the interaction feel effortless and harmonious. Pay attention to his posture as well. If he mirrors your openness, staying relaxed and facing you directly, it indicates a high level of comfort and desire for closeness. This subtle dance of movements is one of the most reliable indicators of a deep emotional connection. It shows that he is not just listening to your words, but he is physically tuned into your frequency. By mimicking your physical state, he is unconsciously trying to experience the world the way you are in that moment, which is a hallmark of developing deep affection. 3. The hero instinct activation and protective nature. The hero instinct is a psychological concept that suggests men have an innate drive to feel needed, respected, and protective of the people they care about. When a man starts falling hard, this instinct kicks into high gear, often in very subtle, nonverbal ways. It's not about grand, cinematic gestures of bravery. It's about the small, daily ways he ensures your safety and well-being. He might instinctively walk on the street side of the sidewalk, or place a hand on the small of your back to guide you through a crowded space. This protective nature extends to your emotional state as well. If he notices you are cold, he offers his jacket without you having to ask. If you seem stressed, he steps in to handle small tasks for you to lighten your load. These actions are his way of carving out a space where you feel secure. He wants to be your safe haven, the person you turn to when the world feels overwhelming. By providing this protection, he is demonstrating that he views your partnership as something worth guarding. Importantly, this isn't about being overbearing or controlling. It is a soft, attentive form of care. He is constantly scanning your environment for potential discomforts and addressing them before you even realize they exist. When a man takes on the role of your protector, he is essentially investing in your shared future. He is showing you that he is reliable and that he takes responsibility for your happiness. This silent commitment to your comfort is a profound indicator that he is emotionally invested and sees you as a vital part of his life. 4. He remembers the smallest details you mention. One of the most telling signs that a man's heart is involved is his capacity to remember the insignificant things you've said. While most people remember the big stuff, your job, your hometown, your birthday, a man who is falling hard will remember the name of your first pet, your favorite obscure snack, or a random story you told about your childhood 3 weeks ago. This level of detail-oriented memory is a sign of active emotional listening. He isn't just hearing your words. He is cataloging them because everything about you has become important to him. This behavior shows that he is genuinely interested in the internal map of your life. When he surprises you by bringing up a small detail you mentioned in passing, it sends a powerful message. I'm paying attention to you. It creates a sense of being truly seen and understood, which is the foundation of intimacy. For example, if you mentioned once that you like a specific type of tea, and he shows up with it when you're having a bad day, it proves that his mind is occupied with thoughts of you even when you aren't together. This data collection is his way of building a deeper bond. He uses these details to make you feel special and to show that he values your unique personality. In a world where most interactions are superficial, this level of attentiveness stands out. It indicates that he is not just looking for a casual connection. He is looking to understand the core of who you are. His memory is working overtime because, to him, you are a subject worth studying intensely. This is a silent but undeniable tribute to his growing feelings. 5. Constant microadjustments to be near you. Proximity is a major indicator of attraction. But for a man who is falling hard, it goes beyond just standing in the same room. You will notice him making constant microadjustments to minimize the physical distance between you. If you are sitting on a couch, he might slowly shift closer until your arms are almost touching. If you move to another part of the room, he often finds a reason to migrate in that direction shortly after. He is like a compass, and you are his true north. These microadjustments are often subconscious. He may not even realize he is doing it, but his body is naturally drawn to your gravity. This desire for physical closeness is a way to establish a shared space. It's about the comfort of your presence and the warmth of your energy. He might find excuses for accidental touch, a brush of the hand, a pat on the shoulder, or sitting so close that your knees occasionally knock. These small moments of contact provide him with a hit of dopamine and reinforce the connection. Furthermore, his body language will almost always be open toward you. His feet will point in your direction, and he will lean in when you speak, effectively shutting out the rest of the world. This focus on proximity shows that he feels a sense of belonging when he is near you. He isn't just hovering. He is seeking the comfort and intimacy that only your closeness can provide. It is a silent declaration that he prefers your company over anyone else's, and he will go out of his way to ensure that he is right by your side. 6. He introduces you to his inner social circle. When a man starts falling hard, his perspective shifts from the short term to the long term. One of the most significant nonverbal vows he can make is bringing you into his private world, specifically introducing you to his closest friends and family. This isn't just a casual hangout. It is a vetting process and a statement of pride. By bringing you around the people whose opinions he values most, he is signaling that you are a permanent fixture in his life, not just a passing interest. He is essentially merging his two worlds to see how beautifully you fit into the space he has already built. Watch how he behaves during these introductions. A man who is deeply invested will be attentive to your comfort level while also being eager to show you off. He wants his tribe to see why he is so captivated by you. Furthermore, he is looking for their seal of approval, even if he doesn't admit it. If his friends already seem to know a lot about you before you've even met them, it's a massive green flag. It means he hasn't stopped talking about you behind your back. This step is a psychological point of no return. It involves a level of vulnerability because he is exposing his choice of partner to the people who know him best. If he wasn't serious, he would keep his social life and his romantic life in separate compartments to avoid the mess of an eventual breakup. By inviting you in, he is saying that he is ready for the world to see you as a unit. This integration of your lives is a silent but powerful testimony to the fact that he is falling deeply and sees a real future with you. 7. Active listening and genuine curiosity about your life. There is a profound difference between a man who hears you and a man who listens to you. When a man is falling hard, he becomes an investigative journalist of your soul. His curiosity isn't just polite small talk. It is a deep-seated desire to understand the mechanics of your mind. You will notice that he asks open-ended questions that require more than a yes or no answer. He wants to know your why you chose your career, why you love that specific movie, or why a certain memory makes you laugh. This active listening is evidenced by his follow-up questions. He doesn't just wait for his turn to speak. He builds upon what you've just said. This level of cognitive engagement is mentally exhausting, so men only reserve it for people they truly care about. When you are talking, he gives you his full bandwidth. He puts his phone face down, he ignores background noise, and he focuses entirely on your narrative. This is his way of showing that your thoughts and feelings are his top priority. Moreover, this curiosity often extends to your future goals and dreams. He wants to know where you are going so he can figure out how he might fit into that journey. If he asks about your 5-year plan or your bucket list items, he is subconsciously checking for alignment. He isn't just interested in who you are today. He is interested in the person you are becoming. This deep, consistent curiosity is a silent tribute to his growing emotional attachment. He is falling for the person inside, not just the image on the outside. 8. He prioritizes your comfort over his own. Selflessness is one of the clearest indicators of deep affection. When a man is falling hard, his ego begins to take a backseat to your well-being. This doesn't mean he becomes a doormat. Rather, it means your happiness becomes a primary source of his own satisfaction. You will see this in the small sacrifices he makes without a second thought. If you're hungry, he'll drive across town to get your favorite food. If the music is too loud for you, he'll ask to have it turned down, even if he was enjoying it. This behavior is driven by a biological urge to provide and care for a partner. In his mind, your comfort is a reflection of his success as a man in your life. He is constantly reading the room of your emotions. If he senses you are tired, he'll suggest staying in instead of going to the party he was excited about. He does these things without saying a word, because he doesn't want credit for them. He simply wants you to be okay. Pay attention to how he handles minor inconveniences. If he gives you the better seat, the last bite of a meal, or the warmer side of the bed, he is signaling that your needs have moved to the top of his internal hierarchy. This shift from me to we is a hallmark of a man who is transitioning from casual dating to a committed emotional bond. He is silently proving that he is a reliable partner who will have your back when things get difficult. His actions are screaming, "I love you," through the language of service and consideration. 9. Subconscious touches on the back or shoulder. Physical touch is a primary way humans communicate intimacy, but falling hard manifests in a specific type of touch, the grounding touch. These are non-sexual, brief moments of contact that serve to establish a physical connection and provide reassurance. A hand on the small of your back while walking through a doorway, a gentle squeeze of the shoulder during a conversation, or a brief brush of your arm. These are all ways he is claiming a sense of togetherness without being overbearing. These touches are often territorial in a healthy, biological sense. He is signaling to the world, and to himself, that there is a special bond between the two of you. This type of touch releases oxytocin in both of you, which deepens the emotional bond and creates a sense of security. It's his way of saying, "I'm here, and you are safe with me." These micro-touches are frequent and consistent, showing that he craves your physical presence. Furthermore, notice the quality of the touch. It's usually lingering and tender. It isn't the quick, butter-like slap on the back. It is a deliberate attempt to feel your skin or your warmth. When a man is falling for you, he is hyper-aware of your physical proximity. Even if you aren't holding hands, he will find ways to ensure your bodies are occasionally in contact. This physical tethering is his subconscious way of staying connected to you in a busy or distracting environment. It is a silent, constant heartbeat of affection that underscores everything he does. 10. He values your opinion on his personal decisions. One of the most profound ways a man shows he is falling hard is by granting you consultant status in his life. Men are traditionally socialized to be independent and self-reliant. So when he starts asking for your advice on things that actually matter, like his career, a family conflict, or major purchase, it is a huge sign of respect and emotional surrender. He isn't just being polite. He genuinely cares about how you see the world because he values your perspective as much as his own. This behavior shows that he views you as an equal partner. By involving you in his decision-making process, he is testing the waters of your compatibility. He wants to know if you think like him, or if your different perspective can help him grow. It also shows a deep level of trust. He is opening up his vulnerabilities and his uncertainties to you, which is something men only do when they feel a profound emotional safety. Listen for phrases like, "What do you think about?" or "I was wondering your take on." Even if the topic is as small as what shirt he should wear, it's about the underlying dynamic of inclusion. He wants your fingerprints on his life. This is a silent way of building a joint life together. When a man starts weighing your opinion more heavily than his own or his friends, it's because he is falling for you so hard that your approval has become his primary compass. He is telling you that you are a teammate, a confidant, and his most trusted advisor. 11. He displays vulnerability and drops his guard. Vulnerability is perhaps the ultimate silent indicator that a man is falling hard, because for many men, emotional transparency is the hardest thing to give. In a world where they are often taught to be stoic and unshakable, choosing to show you his softer side is a massive leap of faith. You will notice that he stops trying to be the perfect or macho version of himself and starts sharing his real fears, his past mistakes, or his childhood insecurities. He isn't doing this to complain. He is doing it to build a bridge of trust. When a man drops his guard, his body language changes. He becomes more relaxed, his facial expressions become more genuine, and he stops filtering his thoughts as heavily. He might tell you about a time he failed or a dream he's never told anyone else. This emotional nakedness is a sign that he feels safe in your presence. He is essentially handing you the keys to his internal world and trusting that you won't judge him or use his weaknesses against him. This shift is a biological and psychological transition from attraction to attachment. While attraction is about showing your best self, attachment is about being seen for who you truly are. If he allows himself to be emotional or weak around you, it is because he has already decided that you are a vital part of his life. He is no longer performing. He is simply being. This silent surrender of his armor is one of the most profound ways he shows he is falling deeply for you, as it proves he values your connection more than his own pride. 12. The change in his tone of voice when speaking to you. Sound is a powerful but often overlooked tool of intimacy. When a man is falling hard, his vocal patterns actually undergo a physical change. Research suggests that when people are speaking to someone they are deeply attracted to, their pitch and tone shift to become more melodic and softer. You might notice that when he talks to his friends, his voice is loud, boisterous, or flat. But when he turns to speak to you, it drops an octave or takes on a gentle, almost velvety quality. This intimacy voice is a subconscious attempt to create a private world between the two of you. It is a way of signaling warmth and safety. He might use a lower, more resonant tone, which is biologically linked to high testosterone and protection, yet soften the edges to show affection. This change happens because his nervous system is reacting to your presence. He is relaxed, focused, and emotionally tuned in. He isn't just delivering information. He is delivering feeling through his words. Pay attention to how he says your name. If he lingers on the vowels or says it with a certain breathiness or smile in his voice, he is revealing his heart. This vocal shift is his way of petting you with his voice. It is an involuntary response to the surge of dopamine and oxytocin he feels when he looks at you. Even if he is talking about something mundane like the weather, the melody of his voice is singing a different song, one of deep affection and growing love. This subtle acoustic shift is a constant, silent broadcast of his true feelings. 13. Consistent reliability and showing up when it matters. In the early stages of dating, people often play games or try to maintain an air of mystery, but when a man is falling hard, he prioritizes reliability over games. He becomes a man who does what he says is going to do. If he says he'll call at 8 p.m., his name pops up on your screen at 7:59 p.m. This consistency is a silent way of proving his worth and building a foundation of trust. He doesn't want to leave you guessing because he respects you too much to make you feel anxious. This reliability shines brightest during your low moments. If you have a flat tire, a bad day at work, or a family emergency, he is the first person to show up, often without being asked. He isn't just there for the fun parts of your life. He is there for the real parts. His presence during these times is his way of saying, "You can count on me." He is demonstrating that he is capable of being your partner in every sense of the word. Furthermore, he starts to integrate your schedule into his own. He plans ahead because he wants to ensure he has a spot in your week. He doesn't wait until Friday night to ask you out. He secures your time on Tuesday. This level of intentionality is a sign that he is mentally projecting a future with you. He isn't just hanging out, he is building a life. By being your most reliable constant, he is silently signaling that he is falling for you so hard that your peace of mind has become his personal responsibility. 14. He values your opinion on his personal decisions. As a man's feelings deepen, he begins to see you not just as a romantic partner, but as a co-pilot in his life journey. You will notice that he starts consulting you on decisions that used to be purely his own, like whether to take a new job, how to handle a difficult roommate, or even what color to paint his living room. This isn't because he's indecisive. It's because your perspective has become an essential filter for his reality. He wants to know if you see things the same way he does. This behavior is a high form of respect. By asking for your advice, he is acknowledging your intelligence and your intuition. He is also subconsciously aligning your lives. If he asks for your input on a career move, he is checking to see if that move fits into the way he is starting to imagine. He values your buy-in because your approval has become a major source of his confidence. When a man values your opinion, he is telling you that he trusts your judgment as much as his own. This dynamic creates a powerful sense of partnership. It moves the relationship from a superficial dating phase into a team phase. He is effectively giving you a vote in his future. This silent inclusion is a massive indicator of his emotional investment. He is telling you that you are his person, the one whose voice he wants to hear in his head when he's making big choices. His willingness to be influenced by you is a clear sign that he has fallen hard and is ready to build a world that has your fingerprints all over it. 15. The way he looks at you when he thinks you aren't watching. The most honest sign of a man falling hard is the look he gives you when he thinks is unobserved. This is a gaze filled with pure adoration, wonder, and perhaps a bit of disbelief that he found someone like you. It's often a soft, lingering smile or a focused stare while you are busy doing something mundane, like reading a book, laughing with a friend, or even just scrolling on your phone. In these moments, his guard is completely down, and his eyes are speaking the truth his mouth isn't ready to say yet. If you happen to catch him in the act, he might quickly look away or blush, looking like a deer in headlights. This is because he was caught in a moment of pure vulnerability. In his mind, he was just soaking in your presence and appreciating everything about you. This gaze is free from the pressure of performing or trying to impress you. It is simply a reflection of his soul recognizing yours. It is the visual equivalent of a deep, peaceful sigh. This look often carries a sense of awe. He sees the beauty in your quirks, the grace in your movements, and the light in your personality. It is a look of total captivation. When a man looks at you this way, he is no longer just interested. He is deeply in love. He is mentally memorizing the way the light hits your hair or the way your nose crinkles when you laugh. This silent observation is his way of treasuring you in his heart, proving that even when nothing is being said, his feelings for you are growing stronger every second.